This morning we're at the Ouray Via Ferrata, which is one of Colorado's 2 public free Via Ferratas, and we're going to take on the Downstream route.
So come along as we show you what it's like.
This is our first Via Ferrata, and I admit that I'm a little bit nervous, but I've been wanting to do this for a long time since I heard about it opening a year or 2 ago, and so today is the day. We just stopped off at San Juan Mountain Guides to rent some gear that we didn't have for the Via Ferrata. You basically need 4 things. You need a climbing mountaineering helmet, you need a climbing harness, you need a pair of gloves, and the 4th thing you need is the Via Ferrata specific shock absorbing lanyards.
We have all our gear. We're about to hit the trail, and to find the trail, it's just outside of town. We just put in Ouray Via Ferrata trailhead, and Google took us right to it. What makes this Via Ferrata unique is that it's free and open to the public, so you don't need to hire a guide, and if you have the equipment, the experience, and the comfort level, you can just come out here and do it.
However, if this is an experience that is outside of your comfort zone and skill set, I would highly recommend hiring a guide. On the hike up to the beginning of the Via Ferrata, we did see a sign for a practice area, and we decided that that would be a great idea, and so we stopped off to check that out. Just an area with some rungs and some cables that are low to the ground so that you can go ahead and practice using the lanyards to change from one cable to the next and just get comfortable with it before you head out on something a little scarier.
We followed the signs to the Via Ferrata and got to the entrance, and it wasn't quite clear to get to the downstream route. So we discovered that you have to go to an area called Canyon Access, which will take you down and over and start the downstream route.
Here we go.
A Via Ferrata is basically a protected climbing route with steel cables to clip into to protect from a fall, and sometimes rungs or ladders to aid in climbing.
Good. A little tired on that section.
The name Via Ferrata means iron path in Italian. These protected climbing routes originated in the Alps in the 19th century, and they're most known for aiding troops in moving through the Dolomites during World War I. Today they're used for recreation. There are over 1,000 Via Ferratas in the Alps, mostly in Italy and Austria, but they've been getting more popular in the US recently, and particularly in Colorado. There are now at least 8 in Colorado. The best known is probably the Telluride Via Ferrata, which has been open since 2007 and is the other free public Via Ferrata in Colorado.
The whole route is 4,000 feet of traversing and climbing, and it's estimated it should take about 3 or 4 hours. So in addition to the gear you need, you probably also want to bring a day pack with some water, food, and appropriate clothing because, you know, it's Colorado and things can change quickly. So the way that the lanyard works for Via Ferrata is it's just sort of following along with you along the cables, and so you can see the length of the cable. You could slide this far before this is going to catch and stop you, and it has some shock absorption to it, but it's not going to be a gentle stop. So basically you don't want to fall. This will save you, but you don't want to fall. That's sort of how this works and what the dangerous parts are. There's also this other carabiner which lets you clip in more directly to your harness, so you could actually go hands-free, lean your weight onto the cable and be able to take a picture or something like that. Or if you're on the way, I've been using it on the way up the steps. If I get tired and I need a break, I can just clip it to one of the steps and rest for a few minutes. Along the way there are passing zones and some places to sort of pull over and stop. We found this really nice bench and it was a great time just to stop and have a snack.
We're about an hour and a half in and we've reached the early exit first bail point, which was at the bench where we also had a snack.
So we did a bridge across, a bunch of steep climbs up, and then sort of a bunch of traversing, a little easier. It looks like we are about to head up again.
Since we did need to rent some gear, the adventure ran us about $85 for 2 sets of lanyards, 1 harness, and 1 helmet. If you hire a guide, your gear will be included, and the trip will cost around $170 a person. About 3/4 of the way through, we came upon a second early bailout point. Great to know this is an option in case bad weather rolls in, but today it was beautiful and we were feeling good, so we kept on moving. As you near the end, you get to make a choice, to take the stairway to heaven or do the optional sky climb. The decision was easy for us. We were adequately tired by this point, and the idea of another longer, harder, straight-up climb was not super appealing, but the bridge looked pretty fun.
We're back. It took us about 3 hours and I loved it. It met all of my expectations. It did make me a little nervous, but in a good way, but it was really manageable.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was like a complicated hike, I would say, because you're hiking through the canyon, but of course you find yourself on the side of a cliff, and it's a full body workout for sure. Like it involves your arms and your legs and everything, but there's plenty of times to rest and hang out, so it's definitely doable and a lot of fun.
We hope this video has been useful in helping you determine if this is the kind of activity you would enjoy if you find yourself in Ouray.
If you have any questions, let us know in the comments, and until the next one,
enjoy your travels!